it's Maddie and welcome to my August TBR. This is honestly my favorite part of the month because I love playing my TBR game. I actually created one with my husband and he is the genius behind it because he drew all of these gorgeous TBR cards that I end up using. But I also just feel like the TBR game makes all of my books new and fresh because even if they've been on my TBR for a while or they're super backlist books, I feel like they just become new and exciting through being able to randomly choose them and just kind of almost shop my own shelf. So I really enjoy doing this every single month and I feel like it just sets up the month to make me want to read so much more. And I'm also just really excited for August because I feel like it's such a transitional month. It's like the tail end of summer and you're still getting the rest of the summer vibes, but then you're also starting to see all the spooky stuff out in the stores, all the beautiful fall scents, and it's just so exciting and fresh. And I just really enjoy that transitional period. August is one of my favorite months, so I'm very excited for this upcoming month and I'm excited to see what ends up on my TBR. So before we hop into it, I just quickly wanted to go over the rules to my TBR game. So I have these TBR cards and on the back they have TBR prompts. I think I'm going to choose about 5 of them because I do have a couple books that my husband kindly wrapped up for me, so I'm probably gonna spin a number generator, and I think there's 9 books wrapped up at this point, so I'll just spin the number generator and then whatever number I get I'll just unwrap that book. So we'll do that a little bit at the end. And then I also have this TBR mug that has a ton of my physical TBR and I'll just select one, and I feel like that's a good way to read some of my more backlist books and just randomly pick books and hopefully find a hidden gem off of my shelf. So I really enjoy doing this. And then I also have this TBR watering can. This has TBR prompts in it and some of these cards are bomb cards, and it will indicate for me to draw a couple of prompts from this TBR watering can. They're usually in a mug, but I thought for the tail end of summer it would be cute to use this adorable strawberry watering can because it's so precious and I just thought it would be really fun. So I ended up putting them in here, but I will be moving them to a spooky mug probably next month if I'm being so honest. So let's dive into the game. Okay, let me just quickly shuffle the cards. Okay, so the first card we ended up pulling is the ice cream cone, and that is perfect because that is summer in the title. I should also say that my hopefuls for this month is to have like a few of my final summer books that I really want to wrap up and then sprinkle in a couple fun fantasy or spooky books just in general. I think that would be a really great way to kind of have the best of both worlds. So that's what I'm hoping for. We'll just see what happens, but we're off to a good start right now. So I'm gonna go look and see what books I have with summer in the title, and then we'll have our first book on the TBR, which I'm so excited about. So for this one, I'm definitely gonna have to go with summer romance. I'm so excited to pick this one up. I've heard everyone absolutely rave about this and it just sounds really good and really fun, and it's not that long. It's like 318, no, actually that was the author's note, so it's even shorter than that. Okay, it's 316 pages, so it's a pretty short book. I feel like I'm gonna fly through it, and also I probably won't read this past summertime, so I definitely want to read it before the summer's over. So I'm really excited about my first book on the TBR. So let me put this on the TBR cart and we can just start seeing all the books line up. I feel like that would be really exciting. Before we pull the next card, I also forgot to mention that I put in the summery cards and also some fall spooky cards because my husband does draw different ones depending on the time of year or what holiday is coming up. So I kind of tried to blend a few from summer and also just start to trickle in a couple of the fall cards. I didn't put all of them in, but I put in my favorite ones just because I wanted to be able to incorporate both vibes into this month. So let's just draw the second card. Ooh, okay, we have the spell book, and that is a retelling or a book with magic. So I decided to go with House of Salt and Sorrows. This is a backlist book, but I really wanted to get this off my TBR this summer because I just keep wanting to save it for summertime and then I don't read it. So it's just about time that I read it, and I've heard amazing things. It's supposed to be so atmospheric and eerie, which that's my buzzwords for sure. And it's actually a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, and it says full of ghosts and gods and a fascinating waterfront world. I'm so excited for this. And okay, the end pages on this are everything to me. Octopus is one of my favorite animals. It just have such an affinity for them, and I feel like they're such fascinating souls that have been so misunderstood, and I love that they're doing more research and learning a lot more about the octopus, because for so long it was just feared and there wasn't a lot of research being done into them in the same way that they are now, and they're learning all of these new things, and it's just so interesting. I'm actually reading a nonfiction about octopus right now, and I am loving it. I'm gonna have to pick up my own copy because it's from the library, but I know that I'm going to want to reread this and reference it, and I love looking into research about the octopus, so that just makes me excited. It has nothing to do with the story, but I just had to go on that little side rant about it. And also there's one here which is amazing, so I'm so excited to dive into this. Okay, let's pick our third card. Ooh, okay, we have the Daisies, and that's gonna be a book with a map or a playlist. For this one, I think I'm going to do A Mile High by Liz Tomford. I have been wanting to read the series for so long, and the final book just came out, and everyone is absolutely raving about it, and I'm just so excited to dive into it. I'm hoping that I love it as well. I feel like this is a good summer read as well. It is a chunky one though, I will say that. And also, one of the books in the series I actually have a video idea for, so I need to get cracking on this series so I can make it to that book, and I'm just really excited. I'm also just really excited to make it to the last book, because that is the one everyone is raving about, so I gotta get going. Okay, let's pick the next card. Ooh, okay, we have the beach setting, which is super cute, and that's gonna be a beach read. Okay, for this one, we're gonna go with The Summer She Went Missing. I'm so excited for this one because it's a YA thriller, and I haven't read one in quite a while, and I have honestly been craving a good YA thriller, and especially since it's all summery, I feel like this would be perfect if I end up going to the beach one more time before summer's over and just like reading this out by the water, because it's just so bingeable. Like, any YA thriller is usually so good, so bingeable, and just like a really fun time. So I'm very excited to pick this one up, and I'm hoping that I like it. I feel like it's going to be very campy, which I'm definitely in the mood for, so I'm super excited about this one. So there is that. We have an interesting variety going on here. I am hoping for a couple fantasy that are pretty high on my TBR, but because my TBR is not going to be too crazy, I could just throw them in if I don't end up getting them on my TBR, because there's just been so many good new release fantasy that I'm super excited to get to. Okay, let's pick the next card. Ooh, okay, we have another one of my favorite cards. It's a little picnic blanket, and it just has like a little book and some glasses and a little picnic basket. It's so precious, and this is an outdoor setting on the cover. Okay, I'm gonna go with The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This cover is everything. It is so incredibly gorgeous and cozy and witchy looking, and just everything that I could possibly ask for. Plus, these purple sprayed edges are stunning next to this gorgeous cover, but it also sounds amazing. So essentially, this woman, she's taking care of the library, and it ends up getting burned down, and so she has to move back to her childhood home, and she's trying to find a new way to come up with an income. So she starts making jam, and I think that there's a romance, and it just sounds so incredibly whimsical, magical, cozy. I feel like this is going to be a very soft and magical 5-star read for me. Like, this is a 5-star prediction for sure. Just the way that it's described, just even the way that the atmosphere is described, about how atmospheric it is, if that makes any sense, sounds incredible. And atmosphere is the way to get me. Let's pull one more card. Ooh, okay, we have the... I mean, honestly, this is perfect because I was gonna pick cards from here anyways, but this is the adorable strawberry basket, and it says +2 TBR prom. So let's find out what we're gonna end up choosing. Okay, so our first prompt is a spell goes wrong. I really feel like the universe is trying to shift me into spooky season early. It's like, let's go that way. But I'm not mad about it. So let me go see what book I have where a spell goes wrong. This is so perfect because I have so many books that I want to get to for spooky season, and there's no way I'll have enough time if I wait till the fall time. So I'm actually really glad that a few of the books are slowly trickling in. But one of the books that has been on my TBR for so long is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, and I've heard incredible things about this. I'm so excited for it. And this is when a witch tries to summon flower and ends up summoning a demon instead. So a spell indeed does go wrong. So I'm very excited for this one and knocking off my TBR. And I feel like there's another book that's like in this interconnected series that is now out. So I definitely want to get to this one so I can start reading the other books that are going to start coming out in this series. Okay, let's choose our second prompt. This one says a one-word title. So I think I'm going to go with A Masquerade, which I'm so excited about. This is actually set in 15th century West Africa, and it says an incisive examination of gender, temptation, and the lengths people will go to hold power. And I'm very excited because I feel like this is just going to be such a powerful, beautiful read. So this is going to be the next one on the TBR. Now let's dive into my physical TBR mug and see what we end up picking from here. By the way, if you hear me like losing my voice off and on, it's because it is so smoky outside, and so my throat just keeps like cracking over and over, which is super annoying. So I ended up getting Spells for Forgetting. For some reason, it wasn't clicking with me what that book was, and then when I remembered, I was like, oh, okay, it's over here. But that is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I actually have a few books by this author, but I haven't read any of them yet, so I'm actually excited to finally read a book by her. I have a few YA fantasy that I definitely want to get to eventually, so I'm excited to add this to the TBR and finally read from this author for the first time. Okay, now it's time to use the number generator to blindly choose the rest of my TBR. I think I'm just gonna spin like 3 times. I feel like that's a good number so I don't have too many books on my TBR, because there's definitely some summer books I want to sprinkle in before the month is over, and maybe some library books. I just want a little bit of a leeway, so I think that I'm just gonna spin it 3 times. And I actually only have 9 books because we ran out of wrapping paper, but my husband was kind enough to wrap a few of my books. We have this adorable strawberry wrapping paper, so then we had just a tiny bit of Christmas wrapping paper left, so we used this A Nightmare Before Christmas wrapping paper for the rest of them, which I think is so funny. But next month maybe I'll get some more fall themed wrapping paper, or at least like a fall color to kind of transition into spooky season. So I think that would be a lot of fun, and then we can wrap a few more books and maybe have like 20 or 30 books wrapped instead. So let me know if you would be interested in that, but I thought it would just be fun to use the rest of my wrapping paper and just blindly choose a couple more of the books. So like I said, I have 1 through 9 here, so let me put these back and then we can do our first spin. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Oh, maybe I should have turned down the brightness. Oh, well, hopefully you can still see. So I ended up getting 3. Let me turn down the brightness. Okay, see, you got 3. So 1, 2, 3. Let's unwrap this one. I'm so excited. I feel like it's like Christmas all over again. So maybe the Christmas wrapping paper is fitting. Oh, okay, I'm actually so excited about this. I feel like this is such a perfect summer read. So it's a sports romance. So I ended up getting First Down by Grace Riley, I believe, and I feel like this is so perfect for the summertime. So I'm really excited this got put on my TBR, and I feel like it spices things up a little bit. So let's spin again. Hopefully you guys can see it a little better this time. I got 2. Okay, perfect. 1, 2. I'm kind of glad I'm getting the strawberry wrapping paper because I feel like it makes more sense for August. So let me unwrap this. Oh, Okay, so I ended up getting Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I have heard incredible things about this author. I've been really wanting to read Beartown soon, so if I absolutely love this, I definitely want to pick that up. That is honestly a 5-star prediction for me, but I've also heard incredible things about this book as well, and I'm super excited to get to it. I've had this on my TBR for quite a while, so this is the perfect excuse to pick it up this month. So I'm so excited about this one actually, and I found this in mint condition in a free little library box, which is stunning. So there is the second one. Now let's just do one more spin and then we will have our TBR for August, which is so crazy. I love playing this game and it feels like it goes by in a blink of an eye. Okay, so we ended up getting 9. So that is gonna be one of the Nightmare Before Christmas wrapping paper. So it's this back book right here, and it's, I think, a hardback. This is what at least it feels like. I'm trying to think if I know what's in here. I don't think I do. Okay. Oh, okay, perfect. We ended up getting a thriller. This has been on my TBR for a little while. It's Everything We Didn't Say, and I haven't heard anybody talk about this or seen anybody read it. So I'm very interested and I'm hoping that I really enjoy it. It sounds like it's going to be super eerie and really atmospheric, so I'm excited to get to this one. So that is the TBR. Let me just rearrange it and we can do a quick recap on what we ended up getting on the TBR. So in no particular order, we have The Summer She Went Missing, House of Salt and Sorrows, Mile High, Summer Romance. Whoop. We have a wild one over there. Anxious People, First Down, Everything We Didn't Say, A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating, A Demon. Didn't finish that title there. The Spell Shop, Spells for Forgetting, and Masquerade. I actually feel like we have such a good variety on our TBR, and we also have a good mix of summer and moving into the spooky season books, so I'm very excited about that. Why are you not focusing? So that is my August TBR plus my book club book. I have a book club called Accidentally Yours Book Club with my friend Brooklyn from Brooklyn's Library. Both my book club and her channel will be linked down in the description. And we'll be reading Love of My Afterlife this month. I decided to pick it up. Let me know if you're thinking about picking that book up, and if you want to join the book club, like I said, it will be linked down below. Also, let me know if you're interested in reading any of these books on my TBR, or if you have read them and what your thoughts are. And then also let me know what's on your August TBR. Thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.